In this video, you're gonna see me, an ex-Bain consultant, interviewing Bruno, an ex-McKinsey consultant, using a McKinsey-style case that would be in a real-life interview, an MBB-level case, probably a hard one that you could find either in a first round or in a last round interview. We made this video in a way that you can work through the video. So on each question I ask Bruno, you can pause the video if you want and try to answer like you would, and then you can compare the answers. Let's get straight to the video. Your friend wants to acquire a bed and bath e-commerce business, but he's unsure whether this is an attractive market or not.
Okay.
And he's asked you for help to assess that. So what are the 3 or 4 factors you'd analyze to determine whether this is an attractive market or not?
Okay. So he's gonna purchase. He wants to acquire a bed and bath e-commerce, so an e-commerce store that sells linens and sheets, bed sheets and pillows and towels and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And he just wants to know if the market is attractive or not. Is that right?
That's right. So he doesn't want to know whether he should acquire the business or not. He just wants your help to see if the market is attractive.
Okay, so no recommendation in terms of yes, he should, just market attractiveness purely.
Right.
Okay. I have a couple more clarifying questions, if
Okay,
I
go
may.
ahead.
The first is this, who is this friend? I mean, is he, because I think it's weird that an individual is purchasing a company.
Okay, so
is he really rich or?
Yeah, he's out of the financial market. He's made a lot of money there, and he wants to go out and just have his own business that he can run and improve. But he doesn't want to start from scratch, and he has a feeling that this might be a good deal, but he doesn't yet know if the market itself is attractive.
Okay, so if I understand, he wants to acquire himself into entrepreneurship. If I
exactly.
that right. Okay, got it. And the second question is, does he have a specific way of understanding attractiveness? And I know this is kind of the question of the case, but are there any specific things that he thinks make a market attractive or not?
No, he'd also like your help with that.
Okay, that sounds good. Is he looking into a specific e-commerce company?
No, not yet.
Just in general?
Yes, he does have a deal in mind,
Okay.
but we're not going to look into that yet.
Okay, because we're looking at the markets.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. So I'm gonna take maybe a couple of minutes to structure the case, if you're okay with that.
All right, go ahead. Take your time.
Okay, I'm ready.
Just a second.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so I'd look into 4 broad areas, and I kind of came up with this framework to evaluate market attractiveness in this specific scenario of a individual purchasing an e-commerce company.
Okay.
So I'd look into 4 areas. The first is if the market is attractive in the sense that he can make money. So are companies in this market profitable and likely to make money in the future? The second aspect is if he can hold a competitive advantage in this market. So I'm coming from the assumption that some markets allow for more competitive advantage than others. The third one is if he can build a customer base. So if he can build basically a list of customers that he can monetize and serve in the future. So another long-term view.
Okay.
And I know this overlaps a bit with can he make money or not, but in the can he make money, I'm looking at the current companies in the market, and in the customer base, I'm looking more into customer behavior.
Okay.
And then the fourth is this a nice business to run? I mean, he's going to run a business. It has to be attractive for him personally as well. Make sense?
Okay.
So within can he make money? Within the first bucket, I'd look into 3 factors. The first is the size and growth of the market, bed and bath e-commerce.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see a big market that grows a lot.
Okay.
and specific segments that grow even more. I'd like to see the profitability of the current players. So maybe this is a big market and everyone's losing money, not
Okay.
really attractive. And the third one is the price sensitivity of the customers. If everyone on the internet is charging the same price for the same items, it's really hard for you to charge a premium or to differentiate in some way. Unless these companies are really profitable, then you can charge less and maybe grab a higher market share.
Okay.
Okay. The second bucket, competitive advantage, I'd look into three things as well. The first is ways to differentiate. What are ways to differentiate your company in this market? And differentiation will enable you to get more market share or charge more for the same products.
Okay.
The second one is ways to be more efficient. Are there ways to be more efficient in this market? One example that comes to mind is maybe you can have a more efficient warehouse and logistics, or a more efficient IT development, things like that.
Okay.
This will help you keep costs down, maybe purchasing as well.
All
And
right.
then the third one is barriers to entry. I honestly don't see many in this market. Perhaps the initial investment that you need to make. But this is important because if it's a really attractive market with a lot of ways to differentiate yourself but very little barriers to entry, what's stopping people from starting other companies and making this market a price war in the future, for example?
Okay.
Right? Within customer base, I'd look for how easy it is to get traffic. Even if this is a wonderfully attractive market with lots of ways to differentiate, if he can't get traffic, he's not going to be able to grow his site. Second one is customer loyalty. So if he gets a customer, is this a customer for life? Is this person likely to buy from him in the future? Or is this someone who's just shopping for price? And I know there's some relationship with price sensitivity, but I'm looking at two different things here. Price sensitivity is they're looking for the cheaper price. Customer loyalty is they're more likely to shop from you if he's bought from you in the past.
Okay.
And then the third one is opportunities for cross-selling. So if he gets customers and then he has lots of types of products that he can sell in the future, that's a more attractive market than a market that you have nothing else to sell, right? And then the last item, if this is a nice business to run from a personal perspective, I'd look at two things. The first is, what are the operational demands of this business? Is this a business that it's going to wake him up at 3 in the morning or not?
Okay.
My guess is probably not. I mean, you can ship stuff every day and have people handling that. And usually nowadays websites don't crash in the middle of the night, so it doesn't seem like a business with too many operational demands, but I would map the operations of this site and see if there are any critical points that can make his life a nightmare.
All right.
And the second one is, how much strategy work is he gonna do versus operational firefighting work? And the reason I'm doing this is he came from the financial markets. So I'm guessing that this guy wants to think about strategy, about long-term planning versus just run an operation. And it's a guess, we have to check with him, of course, but I think this would be interesting from a career perspective. Is this the kind of thing that he wants to run?
Okay. All right. Very interesting. Just a question that I'd like to ask.
Yeah.
So you mentioned customer loyalty,
Sure.
and I didn't quite grasp one thing. Would it be good for the acquisition, or would it be bad for the acquisition if there is customer loyalty?
Sure, that's a good question. Customer loyalty is awesome for the acquisition, and the reason is, and hey guys, I'd probably not use the word awesome in a real case interview, but I'm with Julio. Customer loyalty is really good. Say you spend $20 to acquire a customer, and this guy buys from you once a $40 item, and you have 50% margin on that. You broke even to get this customer in. If you don't sell anything to him in the future, you're not going to make money. Now, if this person is likely to shop with you 5 or 10 times in the future. You can even spend $50, $100 to get him in, and you're still gonna make a profit. So customer loyalty is a really good feature of a market here, because either you can have higher margins because you're spending less in marketing to get the same number of customers, or you're spending more on marketing and you're gonna grow faster and still be profitable compared to a market with low customer loyalty.
Okay, all right. Cool, sounds good. Now, your friend has decided that it will make sense for him to acquire the company, but only if he can increase sales significantly.
Okay.
And he's asked you for help to come up with ideas on how to increase sales.
Okay.
What are some options you can think of?
How to increase sales. Okay. Do we have any information on where the sales come from in the current business?
No, we don't.
Okay. Can I assume that they sell sheets, towels?
Oh, you mean product-wise?
Yeah, sure. And also if there are B2C versus B2B sales, just
Okay,
trying to
alright.
figure out the
Yeah,
mix
okay.
of revenues.
Okay, all right. They sell all B2C
Okay.
and all kinds of products within the bed and the bathroom in the towels and rugs part.
Okay. Is it just fabrics, or do they sell mattresses and furniture and stuff
No,
like
they don't
that?
sell mattresses, furniture, soap holders, everything that's not fabric they won't sell.
Okay. Okay. So our goal is to increase sales, right? If we're gonna increase sales, we can increase sales in the business as is, right? Or we can change the business. Makes sense. If we change the business, I think we can get new types of customers. Do you know if there's a specific segment of the market that he targets nowadays?
No, we don't know that.
Okay. So this could be B2B, for example.
Mm-hmm.
We can get, sell new types of products that are related to this market, or we can enter other markets. Okay, and in the business as is, we could also go offline. In the business as is, we can get new customers,
Mm-hmm.
right? We can increase tickets,
Yeah.
so the average sale, or we can increase number of sales per customer, right?
Okay.
And just to be clear, here get new customers is new customers of the current type of customer we're getting, and the bottom part of my issue tree, it's getting new types of customers.
Okay.
Okay, so just some ideas. To get new customers, we could explore new channels. I don't know how he gets the customers nowadays, if it's Google ads or Facebook ads, but he can try other types of strategies to get new customers, even offline advertising, maybe content marketing, I don't know.
Okay.
There's a bunch of channels he could explore here. To increase ticket, average sale, he could of course increase prices, and that could be increasing prices on the current products or putting more premium products. He could improve his recommendation algorithm as Amazon does.
Mm-hmm.
He could also cross-sell by adding new categories. So you can sell other products to buyers by having better recommendations, but also adding new categories. So what do people who buy sheets and towels and things like that are doing? They're probably moving, perhaps getting married, having kids.
Mm-hmm.
And what else are these people shopping for? They're shopping for decoration, maybe kitchen appliances. So he could expand, and this is actually sell new types of products. So
Okay.
kind of getting ahead of myself here.
All right, I get the point.
Within sales, number of sales per customer, we could work in our customer relationship. So sending emails, doing the basic e-commerce stuff. We could send coupons for them for the next sale. Yeah, I think these are my best ideas here.
Okay.
In changing the business, he can get new types of customers. So B2B, he can focus on hotels, hospitals, who else shops for towels, and yeah, I think that's mainly it. Maybe all the Airbnb folks who are renting their apartments nowadays.
Yeah.
Selling new types of products. I would look for products that are similar to the ones they sell, as I said before. So certain types of furniture, mattresses, and other things that you shop in the specific occasion that these customers are shopping. And we need to study that just to know what really are these customers doing. And then entering other markets would be setting up other e-commerce stores. I don't think it makes a lot of sense. And going offline, I don't think it makes a lot of sense either, unless that's something that our client wants to do a lot, but it would be opening retail stores.
Okay. Are there other ideas you can think of?
I surely can think of more ideas within these buckets, but I'm not sure I can think of other buckets, not really.
Within the buckets, that's what I'm looking for, just a couple more ideas.
Okay, sure. Do we know if, let's focus on the business as is, right?
Okay.
He doesn't want to change the
Yeah,
business
makes
at first. Do we know if it has problems with getting new customers or increasing ticket, or, because I want to focus on where
Okay.
the problem
So
is.
we don't really know the problems that this company has beforehand, but we do believe that if we want to increase sales significantly, it's probably going to be through getting new customers.
Okay, so I would try to do this by increasing awareness, right? And then there is a percentage of people who are aware who visit,
Okay.
right? So by increasing awareness, I think there are ads. So I'd look for all the channels that make sense for ads: Facebook, Instagram. Instagram is actually a really good one because it's a really visual product.
Mm-hmm.
Instagram and Google, basically.
Okay.
So people who are looking for these types of products or who are in a specific type of situation, just got married, I'd put an ad on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'd also use influencers to raise awareness, and by influencers I mean digital influencers, sure, but also architects, home decorators. We can do deals with them for promoting our products, for
Okay.
example. And then there is also PR and normal TV ads, things like that. Now, to increase the percentage who visit, what I think would make sense is to do some kind of promotion. So if you access our site now, you get a free pillow if you spend more than $300, or you get 10% discount. So some sort of incentive to have this person visit. And also something that's not really measurable but tends to work is to work on the branding of the website. Is it a really professional website? Are the ads professional? Do I have I mean, we're working with design in a certain way, right? So you need to have a pretty website and stuff like that. So these are the main ideas I have.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Now,
One more idea, sorry.
Okay.
We could use a member get member campaign also. Some websites do this. If you shop with us and you recommend a friend, you get 30% off in your next purchase. And then we get new customers and repeat buyers.
all right. Cool. So you and your friend ran some analysis of three large revenue levers, and you got to the following data. If after acquisition, your friend starts selling in marketplaces, like Amazon, for example, not only in their own website, their sales will increase by 40%.
Okay.
If they start selling complementary categories of product, like you said, their sales will increase by 30%. And the e-commerce market segment will organically grow 80% due to the increase of the total market and the increase of share that happens online through e-commerce.
Okay, so Bed and Bath e-commerce as a combined category is going to grow 80%.
Yeah, that's right.
Partly because Bed and Bath market will grow, and partly because the share of e-commerce will grow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's all within the next 2 years.
Okay, so that's 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
And knowing that the company's current market share is 12%, what will be their market share after those 2 years?
Mm-hmm. Current market share is 12%.
Mm-hmm.
And we need the new market share in 2 years.
That's right.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
And this market share is within Bed and Bath e-commerce.
Yeah.
Not within the overall Bed and Bath market.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, sounds good. So I can assume that they're gonna execute on the marketplace idea and the new product categories.
Yeah.
Okay, and I just noticed that I could have added getting to new online channels here
true.
as well. So
Yeah.
my fault.
Okay.
Okay, let me think for a bit just to structure this analysis. So can we assume that we will grow with the market at 80%?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, so this factor alone, market growth, will not impact our market share, right? Because we're gonna grow 80%. The overall market's gonna grow 80% as well. So for this factor, it doesn't really matter.
That's right.
That's right. So we're gonna grow 40% revenues with marketplaces, and I will assume that the rest of the markets on average will not do that.
Yeah.
And we're gonna grow 30% with new product categories, and I will assume that the rest of the market will not grow that either.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Right? So to find the new market share, all I have to do is to multiply our current market share of 12% by 1.4
Mm-hmm.
to include the marketplace effect, and by 1.3 to include the new product categories effect. And I will compound both because we're going to be selling new product categories in marketplaces as well.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So let me compound these two effects first. Marketplaces times new product is the multiplier that I will do with the current market share. That's 1.4 because it's 40% times 1.3, right?
Okay.
So I think it's easier to do the math here. I could do 30% of 1.4. Actually, that's easier, huh? I need to add 30% to 1.4.
Okay.
So 10% of 1.4 is 0.14,
Mm-hmm.
right? Times 3. That if this was 0.15, this would be 0.45. And then I take 3 decimals of it. So 0.42, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's pretty good.
And so 1.4 plus 0.42 equals 1.82, which is our multiplier to 12%.
Okay.
Okay, so now I just have to do the new market share is going to be 1.82 times 12%. Let me find a quick way to do this, if I can. Okay, 10 times 1.82 is 18.2,
Mm-hmm.
and 2 times 1.82 is 3.64.
Okay.
Okay, so 84. Sorry. So we will have 21.84% market share
Okay.
in the future.
What do you think of that?
Good question. I think that makes sense. It's slightly less than, so first the calculation. I think my calculation seems right because this is slightly less than twice the 12% figure we have nowadays. And it should be a bit less than twice because we're compounding 40% and 30%. If you sum those up, it's 70%. So it should be slightly higher than that. So the figure seems fine.
Okay.
In terms of the business and whether this is an interesting market or not, I think just by doing two relatively simple actions, we can get a fifth of the market or just over a fifth of the market. This seems like a pretty good opportunity because we're dealing with a market that will grow 80%, which is really good in 2 years, right? By any standards.
Mm-hmm.
And we can still almost double our presence in the market and have some sort of market power and recognition, at least on the online channel, just by doing two simple actions. So it seems like a market that, well, obviously it's going to grow a lot if we can trust this figure, but also a market that you can capture a lot of it with simple improvements. I mean, we're not talking about crazy algorithm changes in the e-commerce. We're just talking about adding new product categories and adding a new channel.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. Now, well, your meeting with your friend is almost over, and you're going to go back to doing consulting. He's going to go back to looking into bed and bath e-commerce businesses, and he wants just your partial opinion, just based on what you have, what you know. Should he acquire this business or not?
Okay, good question. I can't tell him that he should acquire this business because we haven't looked into the business yet.
Yeah.
But I will say that this market looks like a really good opportunity, right? It's a growing market. We haven't seen if it's profitable or not, but just for the fact that it's growing a lot and that with small changes you can get 22% market share, would be a nice play to just acquire the company, grow it a lot, and then perhaps sell it later.
Mm-hmm.
To confirm that, I would just look at three things. The first is if we can trust these figures.
Okay.
The second is I would do a quick due diligence on the company, its numbers and its operations.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third thing, if our friend's skills match what's needed to run this business and implement these changes and other changes that we can include later.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Julio.
Alright guys, this is it for today. I hope you liked this video. I hope you were able to learn from it. And if you want to watch more of our videos on case interviews, just subscribe to our channel, hit the bell button, and you'll get notified when we send out new ones. Also, I've also recorded myself interviewing a real candidate with this very same case, and I've added my comments to it on what she did wrong, what she did right, and what was going through my mind as I was interviewing her. If you want to get that video too, just go to craftingcases.com/badandbath and we'll email you the full video. Well, I hope to see you in the next video.